You can always play shows, you know what I mean? In theory, you know, you can always play shows. You can always sell your own records. I mean, you know, I think that the avenues for independent artists right now are tremendous. I mean, compared to when I was coming up, you know, in college and things like that. I mean, I remember, you know, when I was managing bands back then, it was like, you know, if you wanted to make your own record, it was a major process. You had to go into a 24-track studio and you know, spend $15,000 or $20,000 at least getting that stuff all recorded and mixed and la la la. And then, you know, you had to manufacture, and manufacturing was, you know, you could only do in units of, you know, 1,000 or more. So it would be, you know, thousands of dollars to do that too. Today, you know, depending on your genre, I mean, you know, a lot of people are just making records at home. You know, they're not spending any money. It's software based. You know, it's all computer based. If you're doing dance music or whatever, it doesn't cost you anything at all to make this stuff. Even as a band, you know, with all the home recording stuff, you know, you really don't have to spend very much to make your record. And the sort of the second problem when you know, back say in the 80s, when once you made your record, is how are you going to get it out there? You know, what it was you would, you know, about all you could do at that point was take, you know, your records on consignment, you know, down to the different local stores, which is a horrible way to do things. You know, I mean, you have to go follow up, and you know, nobody pays any attention. People don't really want to pay you, and you know, it doesn't really help. Today, you know, you can sell your records on the web like that. You know, I mean, a company like CD Baby or any of these other companies that do this kind of stuff, you know, you can be up and running in no time. You know, you don't have to manufacture as many as you wanted to, as you used to have to. You know, you don't have to necessarily manufacture 1,000 units. I mean, I know a lot of bands that, you know, maybe the first few hundred units are just made at home on their home, you know, home CD burners, and done, you know, the artwork is printed out themselves, and they do it that way because it's much cheaper, you know, not on a per unit basis, but on an outlay, you know, initial outlay basis. And so they don't have to have, you know, $20,000 to start. They can kind of do it on a shoestring. And then they see how it reacts, you know. I mean, then you see, like, if you know, if you are suddenly going like, wow, I'm spending all day like making CDs. Well, okay, maybe you should go manufacture now. But until you have that problem, maybe you shouldn't go manufacture. You know, I mean, the last thing you want is 1,000 CDs, of which you sell 20. You know, and then you have 980 sitting, you know, in your garage. So, you know, it's amazing to me how much things have changed on the independent landscape. That, you know, every band now, you know, you can go to CD Baby, you can go to, you know, Amazon, you can go all over these places and look and see there's tons and tons and tons of music out there, you know, and it's easy to get your record out, and it's easy to get into these digital services, you know, because there's a lot of different aggregators. Like, you know, CD Baby again has a digital aggregation service, Orchard, you know, or IOTA or whoever. You can get into the iTunes stores, you can get into, you know, Rhapsody, you can get into these places that you want to be very easily. I mean, of course, that creates the problem of now there's millions of records out there that, you know, a consumer can, in theory, buy. Now they need the help to get there. You know, now you need to push them along, you know, to try out your stuff, you know. So I think that, you know, it's created sort of different problems, but I mean, that problem was always there, you know, trying to distinguish yourself from the pack. It's just now there's, you know, millions of records out there and millions of people, you know, who are offering to sell downloads or, you know, whatever it is. But, you know, two very important hurdles have been overcome, I'd say, in the last 20 years, you know, with with the drop in recording prices and the availability of distribution now. It's tremendous change.